Hey everyone! In this video, we'll be reviewing the new top-tier Western Alliance premium medium tank, Sentinelle. The tank is currently available as part of Banners of Valor event, and you can either get it with gold or with war chest. And it's a beautiful tank with beautiful playstyle. It doesn't have a multi-weapon system, but it does have a two-shot autoloader, so an interesting gameplay because most of the tanks, they're single shot. It is like a leopard or plays like a leopard, but it has enough armor where you're frontally safe from autocannons. Of course, not safe from ATGMs, but at least you can survive if Weasel tries to YOLO as long as you're facing towards it or the XM800T. But your side is still weak, so it's basically a two-shot leopard, which is slower and have better armor. Let's get started with the setup. For equipment, you're going with advanced concealment, advanced powertrain, and enhanced missile warning system. As you guys already know, I have PTSD from ATGM, so I put missile warning system in most of my tanks, unless it's a light tank. Using 3 large consumables, repair kit, smoke, and consumables. Going with the camouflage paint as we didn't get a 3 skin for this tank. For my crew, I'm going with bond leader, rapid loading, snapshot, camouflage expertise, 6 sense, pain tolerance, run and gun, steady aim, and silent driving. So a pure camo build. The tank has decent turret rotation and on the move accuracy, so I decided to opt out against gun stabilizer, but I do have the accuracy skills in the crew, and I added powertrain for the extra mobility as well. Going with a more sneaky build while the focus is on gun, but still opted out against the gun stabilizer. And I didn't really have an issue while playing with that. Accuracy was not an issue. Looking at the armor, as I said, it has enough armor where you can bounce the autocannons frontally. As you can see, 240 here, angle upper and lower plate, 170 lower. You will get penned with the standard shells from regular tanks, but you'll bounce the auto cannons. 1 or 2 upper plate, it is angled though. The side is 100 mm. You might get like lucky bounces here and there if they're stock, but don't rely on it. Side armor of 70 mm. So once they get to your side, you're a pretty big tank and you will get penned. And then, yeah, a little bit of armor. Not much anywhere else. You have engine in the back, fuel tank in the front, ammo rack in the middle, and 3 crew members in the turret, and 1 driver in the hull. Looking at the stats, and I said earlier, it is a leopard with the better armor and has 2 shot, but everything else is worse. It does have slightly better concealment as well, but does have less mobility, a worse gun handling, and so on to compensate for that autoloader. So top speed is 68, reverse 24, power to weight 22.75, 2800 HP, so HP is better than the leopard. Hull rotation 42, terrain resistance 0.92, 1.1, and 1.9. Concealment 215 still, 232 moving, pretty solid. View range 592, turret rotation 41, accuracy during rotation 0.39, very respectable. I don't even have the stab. Elevation 20, depression 8, reload 11.9 for 2 shots, and then you have a 2-second interclip, accuracy 0.23, accuracy during movement 0.95. So as long as your accuracy during movement is like less than 1, I think it's workable. You don't really need stab. Interclip 2 seconds as mentioned, standard and premium AP, FSDS, and third shell is itchy. 3970 DPM, penetration 389, premium 482. Even standard is enough to pen most tanks, and then you of course have a beautiful high pen premium APCR that will go through every tank like butter. Alpha 460 and 574 HG, module damage 150, shell velocity 1450 standard, 1525 for premium, and very slow 700 for HG. 50% silver run rate bonus, 25% commander bonus. And looking at the stats and playing the tank is not balanced. The tank is decent to play. Of course, it is kind of weak against ATGMs, but still better playing experience than a leopard because of that clip potential as well as slightly better armor. I would say a decent tank. It is a top tier, plays like a top tier considering how the game plays. Healthy for the matchmaking, healthy for era 2, not broken, not overpowered, and still decent. It can do what it's supposed to do. It can do its job. It's not weak. So I would say very well-balanced overall solid tank. So let's see how this tank performs in the battlefield. I have two replays, the first one in Sunset Coast and the second one is in Fisherman's Bay. So you can see how this tank or the camo build performs in a small map and then in a regular sized map. So going towards the middle, it is an encounter. As I said, I do have the full camo build, so I'm sure I can outspot anyone, because usually people don't run camo build, especially in Era 2, because you will always be outspotted by light tanks in the most part, but definitely by those sneaky proxy tank destroyers. So getting in position, unlucky, my light tank drove in front of me and blocked my shot. Not a good feeling, because with this two-shot autoloader, you have to make sure you pen both shots if you want to have a high damage game. And if you don't, if you're only penning one of the two shots, well, you're not going to have a good game. But lucky for me that BMP, he just rammed me, allowed me to make up for that missed damage. I was thinking about going right, but the medium gets spotted. And looking at the map, as you can see, their team is more aggressive on the CD line, and our team is more camping on the JK. So I was evaluating whether I should stay here a little longer or just move. As soon as I noticed there are more tanks and the heavy is close to or about to jump our heavy, changed my mind and decided to run away. Do end up spotting the ELC, and look at that, the 960 alpha, beautiful. So in most cases, yeah, it does have slightly less DPM, but in most cases, if you were single shot, you would only do one shot of damage and then the tank would get in cover. But in this, it is like in most cases you will be able to get that two shots out, because only 2-second interclip, and if you time it right, you can get away without taking any damage. In addition, if someone's low health, you only need to use one and then you can save the other one. Not that it matters. So like having one shot for 960 alpha or having two with 460, sorry 920, or having two with 460, both have their pros and cons, and both have advantages over something that has like a 500 alpha, because you just win trades. But if you have two-shot autoloader or a lower alpha autoloader as opposed to high alpha gun, then you have better gun handling and aim time and better accuracy overall compared to if you have a gun with higher alpha. So that's the advantage, that despite this tank being an autoloader, you still have respectable gun handling. I rushed the second shot. I should have aimed properly. The game's closed. We're up on HP, but the number of tanks are even. And as you will notice, I'm just firing the standard shells, as most of the tanks are mediums these days anyways. You'll barely see some tanks. Here and there you'll see a FV4211, so you don't really need a premium. And of course, if you use standard, you just make more money. As I said, standard shell is enough even to pen the heavy tanks, at least their weak spots. And then of course premium can help wherever needed. Track that season pass tank, and unlucky for me, I did get targeted, but I thought I was in cover. Unfortunately, I wasn't, as that light tank missiled me. I did get the warning though. You might say, what's the point? Well, I did get the warning, just didn't realize where exactly the missile is coming from, because I thought I'm safe. And there it is, Martyr. He's ready again to get a shot into me. Not this time, Martyr. Not this time, sir. So nonetheless, 7,400 damage. 2,700 assist. Sprawl, split between tracks, and spotting would be nice if you could tell, how much is spot and how much is tracking, because only one type counts towards MOE per battle. So solid game. Also, if you guys are still not in regiments, you are missing out on regiment currency, which has a regiment store and you can buy more items. So make sure to check out our community regiment, Loki hyphen. The other two regiment _ Loki and hyphen Loki are almost full, so we had to create a third one. So that you guys don't miss out. If you have to play the same amount of games, so why miss out? Moving on to our next battle. It is Fisherman's Bay, and it's kind of a nice battle as well, because in this one I lose my gunner, and you'll see, because I'm not running a med kit, even though I have pain tolerance, and time to time you will lose crew members, mostly gunner, and you'll see the gun handling is still not bad. Going towards the middle, so if I spot anyone, I can give that 920 alpha starting bonus. However, I get spotted, and confused. And what do we have? ELC basically casually drove around me and then went forward because he couldn't. But lucky for me, I ended up penning that bagel. Who doesn't like penning those bagels, huh? Very, very OP. Any tank with multi-weapon system like an autocannon and a missile, they're dangerous. They are dangerous. But I think I shot him once and he lost it. He's like, okay, I'm gonna kill everyone. He went wild there. I'm 60. He's being rushed by my teammate, allowing me the opportunity to pen him. 4 out of 4 shells were penned. Other one was loaded, and reload time is not that bad. Yeah, the reload is longer than the single shot, right? But still not bad. I'm still in the game. It only takes like 12 seconds to load, and that's nothing. You just back up, and by the time you pick again, you have 2 shells already. And they're always like confused, right? Because it's one thing if you're 1 shot, but if you're 2 shots, they're afraid to trade with you because they won't win the trade as long as you pen both shots and take your time. And I don't know if a lot of people know that it's a 2-shot autoloader, because I was playing it. I had a feeling that they think it's just a single shot because they were staying in the open. But sooner they will. But I think because it's a new tank, not many people know it's a 2-shot autoloader. There we have ELC. I should have penned him, unfortunately missed. The new XM800T. Unfortunately, I shot him, set him on fire, but at what cost? At what cost? As he killed my gunner. And I was a little disappointed. I'm like, my game's over. Especially because we're winning and I have to be aggressive. There you'll see, I can't rotate my turret very fast, as well as the aim time is a little longer, but the accuracy is respectable to begin with, right? So it wasn't really an issue because how good the base accuracy was. So penned 1 shot, rushed the second, so missed. We are winning by 3 tanks. However, the HP is not that huge, or the HP difference. Relying on my concealment to just outspot them. I do have this bright red camo, but I love this camo. And this camo is actually, I got it from the regiment store. A beautiful, I love the red camo, and only for 2,000 Regi coins. There's some for 10,000, but like 2,000 Regi coins. Oh, since I already got the tank, I just spent my extra Regi coins on these 2k camo. Batter Chatter is pushing our Ignis, and he got double tapped. It's, you can think of it like a ATGM as well, right? Like the Alpha, or you can think you're playing BZT. I guess BZT has higher, but the 2-shot, it in most cases, yeah, Light 100 is close to an ATGM damage, but with better shell velocity. Yeah, so the tank is beautiful. You know, that like that Alpha with the gun handling, mobility, slight armor, right? Obviously, don't try or contest or try to use your armor against high pen or against ATGMs, but the tank does well what's supposed to do. Not to be taken lightly. Very, very solid tank. The peeking, I do see that ELC on the left. I didn't want to shoot him because he's small and I have that gunner, but he fired, so now I had to. So he made me angry. Another shot into M60, 7600 damage. Yeah, unfortunately I have a sore throat, and yeah, that's why you notice the difference in my voice. Nonetheless though, closing in so I can get some more damage. And if I aim or take my time, the dead gunner is not a problem, not an issue. I still get most of my shot. There's foot cruiser, he is healthy, so going for that. Healthier tanks, so they have more tanks alive. Banned him, and then laser smoke, so end up hitting the other tank, 8500 damage. Can I reload? Can I get the 10k mark? Medium goes down, foot cruiser is rushing towards the other side. And a nice shot into foot cruiser, another one into ELC, 9486. Can I get another shot into ELC though? Maybe I'll get 2. But yeah, do let me know in comments, did you get this tank? Did you buy this tank? Do you like the tank? Do you like the playstyle? Do you like the 2-shot autoloader in Era 2? I don't think many tanks, if any, have like a 2-shot autoloader in Cold War. I could be wrong. I'm missing a few tanks. I don't play Cold War, but even if there is, it's a very rare mechanic. So nice shot into ELC, bringing my total to 98.97. So that's it for this video. Beautiful tank. As I said, do let me know in the comments what you think about the tank, and if you're planning to get it, either through chess or gold. So that's it for this video. I'll catch you in the next one. Have a great rest of your day.